And are you ready?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get started.
Good, good.
A little bit nervous, but that's how these things go.
Nice. So a little bit nervous is good. Yeah. So our interview has three parts. In the first part, we talk about your previous projects. You can also talk about like your personal experience as a data journalist, and also in your also about your experience at Galvanize. And second part, we will go over pandas question, and it's a test of your basic Python skills. The third part, we will go over a SQL question, and we will try to integrate some business insights into that question as well. Okay. So the first question is, can you talk about a project that you are most proud of?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you about my final project for the data science immersive program that I did. It was something using natural language processing and machine learning techniques, which is not necessarily what I'd use in this type of position that I've applied for, but it does show that I can use, Python and all the tools that go with that. And it's just interesting to talk about. So I'll tell you a little bit about that.
Sure.
What I did for this project was I combined my background in journalism, so my knowledge of sort of world affairs and news, and storytelling, of course, with a lot of what I had learned in the data science immersive program. And it was to sort of fill, I wouldn't say a market niche, but something that I'm seeing is missing is that, as you know, knowing a lot about data storytelling, is that in the data journalism or data storytelling world, there's a tendency to basically just use kind of basic statistics, spreadsheets, and visualizations, which can be used for fantastic communication of information about numbers, about data that we have, and that's great. But within the journalism or storytelling world, there hasn't really been use of some of the machine learning techniques that are now widespread in use, things like using natural language processing and then topic modeling and things like that. So I said there's some room to explore there. So what I did was create a machine learning based topic modeling program that basically will read social media and explore large amounts of social media. And to be specific, I wrote a program that will you can do a search for a word. In my case, I did it about news since I'm a journalist. Search for a word on Twitter, find a random sampling of tweets, and then do a topic modeling of how that word is used. And then what I did was to explain this, I created a blog, which I'll just give one example. The latest one I published was about the coup in Myanmar, and I wanted to see how people are talking about the coup in Myanmar. Now, if I go on Twitter or you go on Twitter, we're going to find all the news headlines about that. But I want to know in the bigger picture, how are people talking about that? Not just what I see or what you see. So I collected about 500,000 tweets, ran those through my program, and the program was able to divide up to find the topics, the latent topics within that. And then I wrote a blog about that. So rather than just seeing what, for example, CNN is saying about Myanmar, or what Joe Biden is saying about Myanmar and how people are reacting to what he's saying, I was able to see this whole diversity of things that people are talking about, and not just, with a few random tweets, but saying, a lot of people are talking about such and such thing. And I was able to see, for example, the huge amount of regional tweets, people from Cambodia, Vietnam, India, talking about how this affects their lives. So basically, to wrap up, using machine learning to dig into data, in this case, social media data, and bring out stories that are there that normally we wouldn't find.
I see. Yeah. So can you send me the link after the interview? I'm happy to link it to our YouTube description so people can see your blog post directly. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And just one more thing, I would say that that type of analysis, I think it's not exactly what typically in a role like this, because in a role like this, it would be more drawing insights from numerical data rather than the NLP, the natural language based processing, or even the topic modeling. But again, the fact that I can do those sort of shows
Yeah, I
like
understand.
the simpler statistical or numerical analysis.
That's fine. Like everything boils down finally to a story. So if you have a story to tell, it doesn't matter. Like I mean, it doesn't matter that much how numerical it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, next part we move to the pandas question.
Okay.
So, can you open the collab I just sent to you and share the screen as well?
Sure. And go back to Zoom. Share screen. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Are you able to edit it? I think you should be able to edit it directly.
I should. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll just read through this and see what you're asking me to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So first we're, so I'm assuming you're just asking me to work with a data set here.
Yeah,
so,
I can just run this first like a cell and create these two data frames. And then we go through the questions one by one, contrast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've imported the tools we need. Random seed is so that if we're both working on separate computers, we're both working with the same random numbers.
Yeah. Reproducibility. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have a data frame here with
it's a data frame 1. There's data frame 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to do any like exploration, checking, whatever you want. But you can see that there's these two data frames were created correctly. No error.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now in, because I usually work in Jupyter notebooks, can you tell me how do I just see, if I want to see or maybe just add in a cell? Because I want to
you can add a cell by clicking the plus code. It will create a code block below this cell. Yeah.
So here. Okay. Yeah. So if I just want to see DF1 head.
You can click the yes. Yeah. That's okay if you're not familiar with Colab. I can tell you the basics. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's fairly. I've worked in it a bit, but it's fairly self-explanatory. The DF2. And I just want to make sure that I'm.
Yeah.
So it's column A is just that number.
Yeah.
Column B is the dates, the timestamp.
Right.
Okay. So a range of dates. Column C is random integers within a certain range. Okay. Column D is just the numbers 1 through 4. Okay. And column E is saying whether it belongs to the train or test category, and column F is foo. And as usual, sometimes the sample data frames, because they're theoretical, seem more complicated than when you're actually working on something. Okay, so can you concatenate DF1 and DF2 to create a new, I forget, I think is it DF1 dot concat. I forget, to be honest.
That's fine. You can try.
Yeah.
I think you remember the correct method name, but it doesn't belong to a data frame object.
So there's another way to. Isn't there a more common way that we do concatenation? Oh, just merge. Is how I would usually do it in pandas, but I haven't done it in a while, to be honest. So
that's fine.
Can't remember if it's like that. Merge. No, that didn't work.
Maybe simpler than you think.
Yeah. Yeah, I should know this. What did that? Yeah. Obviously, this is where I would do a quick Google and remind myself, just because I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. So can you do if you want to design the API of, for example, concatenate?
Yeah.
So should the concatenate be part of like a method for a pandas for data frame object, or it should be a function which belongs to pandas? So
Yeah.
how about pd.concatenate concat? Yeah.
Yeah. PD. Or pd.merge, right? Either one.
You can try. I don't think merge is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Concat, and then just df1, df2, right? Let's see, like that.
Try again.
No.
So let's say if you want to design the API of the concat function,
yeah,
you should, and you don't know how many data frames you want to concatenate together. So maybe you put a list as the input. How about you put a df1, df2 into a list?
Can't believe I don't remember how to do this.
That's okay. Like Google is always your friend. I just like walk you through this process, and you can check the value of df3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I actually don't need to do the head because we only have 8 rows. And you can show everything to make sure it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, or I can just do, because it'll be short.
It's really short. So
I'm embarrassed that I didn't remember that, but that's why.
That's okay. Using head is a safety. For example, if somehow your data frame is really large and you change the parameter that you want to show everything somehow, oftentimes we do that, and your browser may freeze. So that's fine. Using head is a good option. And this case is just because.
No, but I'm embarrassed. I didn't remember how to do the concat, but it's just because I haven't done it in a while. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
So now you understand like I would say the logic of this the syntax here.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
But I forget what the difference with merges, but I can do that after.
So
I'll go.
concatenate merge is more like a join. You can specify different kinds of ways of join, like based on which column. Okay. Yeah. So concatenate is
more like
simpler, more. Yeah, exactly. More brutal force. You just concatenate forcefully somehow. But I think in many cases you can achieve the same result by like different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think I've been in my head. I've been doing merge more than I don't think I've ever actually done the.
Understand. Yeah. All right. So next question, we have df3. So you name it df3. We will work on df3. So can you drop the f column in df3?
Yeah. I think that's
right. Okay.
Did that right?
It runs through.
No.
If you write twice, because you assign it to df3. Yeah. So that's okay.
Okay, so it did work. Okay.
So
we can leave that.
Check df3.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Good, so good, perfect. Okay. So like the F column is dropped. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one.
Okay. So group by, again, I haven't done this in a while, but that's okay.
Good.
I'm just going to do that first. I forget, to be honest. So
now you have a group by object.
Yeah. This is where we do a lambda function, I think.
So there are two categorical variables for column E. One
Yeah.
is test, one is true. You just check which category has a larger mean of column C.
Oh, right. Okay. So, so columns to check which group has larger mean. So, okay. So I want to do. This is just an ARBs that I got into a DF.
So what you did was correct. Like that's the right way to go. All you need to do is to find out what you need to further operate after doing the group by. Yeah, this is correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then just the mean.
Yeah, give it a try.
Mean of B, no, C.
Good. So
and then I want the greater of the two, which is test.
The test category. So that's good.
Okay.
You see, like even you specify C, like both A and D, because they are both numerical, so they are there. But B is time series, so timestamp, then it's not there, but that's fine. So I can clearly see like C has test category has a larger mean value for C.
Okay.
Good.
I guess on questions like this, I tend to panic a bit and think that I'm not going to get it correct unless I haven't. Like I thought I wouldn't have got that correct unless the only number in the result is 7250. So I just need to not panic and just do it step by step. And
you will get more and more used to it.
Yeah.
That's good. Next.
Can I set B as the index? Yes, I think it's just set index. So we have, let me make sure that DF3 is still looking like I want it to look like.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things go missing. DF3. And then I think it's set index. Yeah, set index.
Yes.
Is it just B? Let's see.
Yeah, give it a try. Good. Yeah, so now B moves to the index column. So the reason I choose Colab for the mock interview is that I don't want students to remember too many stuff. Like if they like smart or AI based, those helpers, they are there. We just make use of them. Okay.
Right. Yeah. No, it's quite nice to work on. I might start practicing in this rather than Jupyter.
Yeah, but in the long run, you still want to build muscle memory. Yeah. The last question: what does the following code do?
Okay, so this is going back to our initial data frame. So, and it's plotting it out. So, so let me remind myself what the initial data frame looked like. DF1 was just timestamp. Okay, and then so which?
So you can write again. The result may be different because I commented one line.
Right. So.
Let's write again.
Oh, and what you mean with this uncommented?
No, you don't need to uncomment that. Just run again because.
Oh, run it again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we only want to see the one thing. So this is plotting the first data frame that we had. So we have dates in January. So January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the x-axis.
Yeah.
And then numbers, again, it's always tricky when it's a theoretical data set because it's hard to conceptualize what these mean when I don't know what it means.
Yeah, they don't have a meaning.
We'll say this were sales numbers that, sales were very high on January 2nd, lower on the 3rd. Maybe it was a snow day, and then back up to more normal levels on the later days in the week. Okay. And then obviously the code is showing the titles, X and Y are that's the columns. X is B column, Y is C column from the data frame. You can do the red, make it fancier. MS 10 is just dividing these up here by 10 on the y-axis.
Are you
And
sure?
then you can do various stylistic things to make it
So,
fancier.
so Mary, are you sure about the MS?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so don't say that. So
Okay, just don't say it. Yeah.
find out the meaning of MS.
Right. And in oh, do you want me to find it out right now?
No, don't Google.
Go find out.
Change MS value and find out its meaning.
Okay. So can I? Oh, okay. Let's see. I will do 20 here. And that again. What does it matter? Oh, that's just the size of the dot.
Yeah, so it's marker size.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Got it.
that's good.
Marker size. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, your guess is like I would say it's education guess because they practice as 10. But if you don't know it, just try and see the result.
Okay. Or just don't say it.
No, just don't say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then should I run the second line?
No need. It just making it more complicated. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So now I'm going to send you another link, and we are going to explore the second question, which is a SQL question there.
Great. Okay.
All right. 1 second. So
it's interesting with all the programming, sometimes you're more used to using the fancier functions and you forget the basics like concat.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
Part of the game.
All right. So you should see it.
Okay.
Open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can close that advertisement.
Yeah.
So this is the third part. We're going to explore a SQL question.
Okay.
So this is SQL Zoo. It's like a great resource to learn SQL. We will just can you clear this like a SQL query input? Just delete that part. No, that not the red part.
This one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So here we have a database, a table. A data table called Word. So can you just do some exploratory of this Word database? For example, just do a simple select and show the first several columns of several rows of it. Okay,
so answer this question. What's the capital of France?
No, ignore the question. Just explore this database. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So select. Let's see. And how do I see the table? Oh, I can ask about the capital or continent of the population. Okay.
No, just ignore that. Yeah, ignore these questions on this page. Just explore. Show the first, I would say, 10 rows of this table, whose name is Word. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Select. I think it's like this. Select all.
Yeah.
We don't want to do all.
That's fine. All is fine.
Okay. I forget how to do like the top 10 from world.
Assuming this is a completely new database, completely new table, you have no idea what's inside. Yeah.
Okay. So wouldn't I want to limit it in case it's like
no need. That's fine. Yeah. We just want to see something. Okay. Good.
Okay. And then remind me if I wanted to limit that, it's not head, it's like select. If I just wanted the top 10, it would be.
You could just use limit after from Word.
Limit by 10 or just limit 10?
Just limit 10, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. But that's not very important here. So can you explore this table just to get yourself familiar with this table because we're going to use it. Yeah.
So let's do.
You just check the result.
So I've got name, continent, area.
So you're comfortable with that?
Capital. .tld and Wikipedia and flag. We'll just Wikipedia.
Yeah, you have name of the country, continent, area, population, GDP, capital, top level domain, and the URL to its flag image.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we will build the final solution to my next question, My next question is, can you find out which continent has the largest population according to this table?
Okay. So select.
Which continent has the largest population according to this table?
Oh, just map. No. Is it where, I'm gonna figure this out. I know it's easy.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you plan to do? Like without writing anything down, like what's your plan?
So I just need to find the I guess I need to add the populations together for different countries, right?
Yeah, on the same continent.
On the same continent. So I need continent, population, and the name of the country. There we go. That's what I was missing from world. So sum. This is harder than it sounds. So I need the sum. I need to sum the population from different countries.
Yes.
So I think I can just select them all like that from the world and then group by, I don't know if I can do this, sum of the population.
So why do you group by sum?
Group by continent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I need to sum the populations of, I'm not sure how to do it in one query, group by continent.
So if you already group by continent, which means like each group has a bunch of countries, and their corresponding populations and everything else. So something need to be done in your select query.
Select
the first row. Can you do a sum here?
Yeah, but it's, I guess, like that. Is that going to sum them up by the continent group? I don't think so.
Why not?
Okay, let me try it.
Yeah.
I just haven't, I obviously my practice with this content group by continent, and then I only want the top one.
You don't need to. I didn't mention that. So my question is find out. Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong?
It says world name is invalid in the select list. Oh.
So there is one variable you shouldn't select.
I don't need that
because you already grouped by, and the name you didn't do any aggregation on that.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So which continent?
So it's Asia.
Mm-hmm.
But
can you sort it? Can you sort it according to the sum of the population?
Order by. No, it's not order by. order, how, I did that this morning, I was practicing. Order by, is it max? Order by, oh, order by sum of population, duh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's gonna go lowest to highest, I think. So let me try this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Good.
Okay. So with one like that, I'm just getting, and this is good because a few months ago I would have totally panicked when it's just basic math, whereas now I'm not panicking nearly as much. Just when the eyes are on me, I tend to make it way more complicated than it is. Okay.
Okay. So next, let's do one more like operation. And
Okay.
you need to tell me the difference between this result and the result we're going to get.
Okay.
So here we just like do all the countries. So can you only work on the countries whose area is larger than 1 million?
Okay. In where area is larger than 1 million. So
basically, it's where area greater than a specific number. You just need to find the correct place to put there.
I think it's here. You said greater than 1 million?
Yeah, try 1 million. Yeah, try it. Okay, so the result changed, right? Why?
Because, well, Asia is still at the highest.
Yeah, Asia is still the highest, but if you comment that line and run it again, you will see the difference. Yeah, you can actually open another Chrome tab and just run those two simultaneously, and we can see the difference.
Oh, you want me to do that?
Yeah.
So we can see the difference? Yeah.
Yeah, just open a new tab. Yeah. Copy our result.
Yeah.
Just remove that line. Right.
So initially it was.
Yeah, I can close that tab, advertisement.
Yeah. So it was Asia, Africa, Europe is the top 3. We'll just look at those. And then Asia, North America, South America.
So why is North America and South America are higher than Africa in this query?
Because so we're now limiting it by countries that are larger in area, right?
Yeah.
And I know this is obvious. And so it would make sense that, so it means places that would have potentially places that have a higher population density, countries that have a higher population density are going to be possibly eliminated. So for example, Europe and parts of Africa have very high population densities, Africa with very densities, Europe with just a lower area. Whereas in North America and South America, you do get quite a lot of still vast open spaces. So
I would say that's a little bit over-explained.
Over-detailed, yeah.
Yeah, because you see the area is larger, doesn't mean necessarily like a country has high population density. It's just because we are seeing from the continent level. But here you see North America and South America like they show up as a higher ranking. Probably because in Northern America and South America, you have Brazil, Canada, United States, Mexico, like they are larger countries, but in terms of area, but for the without this filtering, in Africa, like most countries, they do have like a high population, but the country size is not that large. But since we are not looking at country level, it's kind of hard to like fully justify the country population, like a population density argument. But I
Right.
think you correctly identified the problem, because
Right.
filtering actually has a real world origin. Because we do this filtering, because the fact that North America and South America tend to have larger countries.
Right. I was getting at it indirectly, I guess. Yeah. So by limiting it
Yeah.
to the higher area.
Yeah, very likely you are right. But it's just we probably need more querying to make it more solid, you know.
Right. To not extrapolate beyond the data. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. That's the SQL questions. I'm very happy you figured it out, and it works perfect. Yeah. So do you have questions for me?
Let's see. In terms of obviously SQL knowledge is a big part of this job, which I'm comfortable with, because to be honest, when it's theoretical, it's so much harder. Even when it's a simple query, you know, it's harder than working on actual data, I find. So I'm confident that I have the SQL competencies, but I'd like to know to what percentage it's like a day-to-day part of this job, doing something like SQL.
I'm not exactly sure about your question, because I personally doesn't have too much experience working with SQL. I mainly work with JSON, like a document-oriented database. But I would say you should be really comfortable with queries like this. Like you can speak English and you can speak French. You should be able to speak SQL.
Yeah.
It's just like your third language or the fourth language you can speak. And the writing such queries should be, I mean, no-brainer. Just
Second nature.
people say it in English. The moment they finish saying, your SQL query is ready. You see what I mean? So practice up to that level. I mean, you will be comfortable with all kinds of, any kinds of SQL questions, and practical. You're able to solve practical daily problems in your real job.
Great. Yeah. And then in a real interview, obviously I'd ask you about the company culture and stuff, but I don't know if we need to.
Yeah, I probably don't know either.
You don't need to do that. Yeah. And since I'm speaking to someone tomorrow, so I can get that type of information tomorrow. So
good.
Yeah, great.
So that's about it. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for